Today, we're going to talk about a hidden force, something that could be quietly undermining your health goals. We're going to pull back the curtain on a single hormone that, when triggered by our daily lives, might just be the real reason the number on your scale isn't budging, no matter how clean you eat or how hard you work out.
Does this sound at all familiar? You're juggling work, family, life, you're feeling the pressure. And at the same time, you're fighting with this weight that just will not shift, especially around your middle. It is a super common and super frustrating situation, and we're about to unpack exactly why that is.
So, let's get right into it. This unseen battle. It's that feeling, right? When you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, but the results just aren't there. What is really going on?
I mean, what if the real issue here isn't about your willpower or your workout plan? What if it's a biological thing that's happening inside your body, totally without your say-so? All the evidence points to one specific culprit, a hidden hormone that gets switched on by our modern, super high-stress lives.
Okay, so what is this hidden culprit? Well, it's a hormone called cortisol, and it's basically your body's emergency alarm system. Let's get to know it a little better, because really understanding cortisol is the key to turning it from an enemy into an ally.
So, what is cortisol exactly? It's a steroid hormone, and its main job is to help your body deal with stress. It helps manage your energy, your blood sugar, even inflammation. And in short bursts, it is absolutely essential for our survival. The problem starts when that alarm bell just keeps on ringing.
And this is a really important distinction to make. There are two kinds of stress. You've got acute stress. That's the jolt you get when a car cuts you off. It's helpful. Cortisol spikes, you react, then it goes back down. The real problem is chronic stress, that constant, low-grade pressure from work deadlines or money worries. That keeps the alarm ringing and ringing and ringing.
And here's a great way to think about it. Chronic stress is like sitting in your car and just revving the engine in neutral. You're burning through fuel, you're causing all this wear and tear, but you're not actually going anywhere. It's just exhausting and over the long term, really damaging.
And when you're in that state all the time, you get what we call the overload effect. That's when the body's own alarm system starts to actively sabotage your health goals. So how does this actually affect your weight? Well, high cortisol taps into this ancient survival program. It literally sends a signal to your body to store energy, as fat, especially around your midsection, just in case there's a famine coming. It also slows down your metabolism to save energy. It spikes your cravings for quick energy foods like sugar and carbs, and it messes up the signals that tell you when you're full. It is basically a perfect storm for gaining weight. And it's not just about the scale. Do any of these other things sound familiar? Trouble sleeping? Feeling kind of moody or anxious? Being tired all the time? Or having those afternoon energy crashes? That classic brain fog? These are all huge red flags that your cortisol levels might be out of whack.
And the impact of this hormonal imbalance goes way, way beyond your waistline. It creates this ripple effect that can cause issues all across your body.
See, high cortisol isn't just one little problem over here. It can throw your entire hormonal ecosystem out of balance. It's like a domino effect that touches pretty much every part of your health.
For instance, just look at a condition like PCOS. It affects a huge number of women, somewhere between 10 and 13% globally. And it's a perfect example of a really complex health issue that's rooted in hormonal imbalance, a state that chronic stress can absolutely make worse.
And the link here is incredibly direct. Chronic stress can actually suppress the key hormones you need for a regular menstrual cycle. It basically tells the body, hey, things are too dangerous right now, and this can disrupt or even stop ovulation altogether. And here's another statistic that really makes you think. 1 in 8 women will develop a thyroid condition in their lifetime. Your thyroid is like the master gland of your metabolism, and how it works is deeply connected to your body's stress response. It just shows you how widespread these issues really are.
Okay, so that was a lot of the what and why. We've laid out the problem. But now, let's get to the most important part, taking back control. Let's walk through a really straightforward 5-point game plan you can use to start lowering your cortisol and reclaiming your health. So our game plan is built on 5 really powerful interconnected pillars, and we're not talking about anything extreme here. It's a whole strategy that's about managing stress, moving your body the right way, getting enough sleep, and fueling yourself with a balanced diet with some specific stress-busting foods. Let's start with number 1. Look, this is not about getting rid of stress. That's impossible. It's about managing how you respond to it. And the science is so clear on this. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a day of something like mindfulness or deep breathing can literally hit the brakes on that fight or flight system.
Next up, exercise. But here, the magic word is moderate. A 30-minute brisk walk, a swim, a bike ride, that stuff is fantastic for lowering cortisol over time. Pushing yourself to the absolute limit every single day can actually do the opposite. So think consistency over intensity. That's the name of the game.
Tip number 3 is non-negotiable. You have to sleep. This is when your body does its most important repair work, especially for your hormones. Cortisol has a natural rhythm. It should be high in the morning to wake you up and low at night so you can sleep. Consistent sleep is what keeps that rhythm in check. Aim for 7 to 9 hours and try to keep your schedule regular.
Okay, and now for the fuel that powers all of this, your diet. We're going to combine our last 2 tips right here. First, build your foundation on a balanced, whole foods diet to keep your blood sugar stable. Then, you can add in some strategic reinforcements like leafy greens, which are packed with calming magnesium, and antioxidant-rich berries to help your body fight off the physical damage of stress. You know, this quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? This is not just about losing weight. When you get a handle on your cortisol, you're managing your energy, your mood, your sleep, your resilience. You're literally taking back control of your overall health.
So I want to leave you with this question. This doesn't have to be some massive life change overnight. What is one small, simple thing you can do today to start lowering your stress? Maybe it's a 10-minute walk at lunch. Maybe it's just taking 5 deep breaths before your next meeting. The power to change this whole cycle really does start with that one small step.